Confusion Bureau, United We Stand, by Archie Striker JK5. Chapter 5. The White House. A quartet of secret agent servants find President Clayton Abernathy in the Situation Room. For those of you who are curious, Clayton Abernathy is Hawk from G.I. Joe, one of the leaders and the heads of the Special Feature Artemis Force. The former head of an anti-terrorist unit scowled slightly as he moved with prideful strides. His entourage struggling to keep up with the 65-year-old who still did 50 push-ups every morning. Now that's a president I can get behind! The group turned a corner and entered the mat room on the first floor. A room dominated by a long table with people already sitting there. Several others stood around the table, talking amongst themselves or onto cell phones. Monitors were mounted on walls, some on, and most of them blank. All eyes turned to the president, and everyone stood, conversation ceasing as he entered. Clayton wasted no time. He sat at the head of the table, followed by everyone else, and leaned forward intently.
All right. I just got pulled out of a call with Premier Brehawk for whatever's going on.
Looked to his right, General Tim Hollingsworth, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Jim, what you got?
Hollingsworth, a somewhat heavy-set African-American advisor to Clayton and his unit during the 80s, sifted slightly. He reached over and tapped a control panel mounted on his hand.
I have received reports from orbital monitoring stations a half hour ago,
he said. A hologram projector built into the table's center glowed. A three-dimensional image formed in a crystalline hemisphere, with blue-white lightning cracking up and down the middle of it. At the apex was a miniature version of a white alicorn. Several graphs appeared next to the model, fluctuating wildly. Clayton stood up, eyes fixated on the image.
My God,
he muttered.
What the hell am I looking at?
He leaned forward and squinted.
Is that Celestia?
A younger man in a green suit and thin tie stepped up to the table, adjusting to his glasses. He had unworldly brown hair, and his eyes shifted from left to right. "We're not sure, Mr. President," he said. "All officials matched with her, right down to her CUNY mark. Her thermic energy signature, though, is a bit different." He pointed at the dome. "It's disintegrated anything artificial. Houses, concrete, asphalt have all been vaporized by it. And we can't really scan the interior beyond visually. The grubs almost stopped, though."
Clayton looked up at him. Dominic, that means magical energy, right?
Yeah, the younger man's nod. He looked back at the hologram.
So it's not her, Mr.
"Albert Preston," he said, grinning. "Ladies and gentlemen, presto for the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon! Which we did a chapter of a fic starring him not too long ago. Needless to say, there are a couple of great D&D books incoming in a few months." Smile quilled quite quickly as he pointed to the graph next to a small hologram of Celestia. "It's difficult to explain, but while part of the energy is identical to what we know of the princess, there's a separate part to it." He shook his head. "Like there's 2 thermic signatures here, or even more." Clayton focused on the image once more.
Wait a minute. Where is this?
A map appeared on the side, showing the site of Kentucky, the location of the dome and sea.
My God. That's right in the middle of a city.
He looked up to Hollingsworth.
Tim, for the love of God, tell me we're evacuating all civilians out of that area.
Hollingsworth nodded, pointing to the map.
Local police and emergency response crews are already on the scene. The governor's declared a state of emergency. Fort Campbell and Fort Knox are already mobilizing.
He paused, glancing away.
Mr. President, they're still a half hour away from even reaching the area. This got us pretty damn unawares.
Clayton focused on a younger man in a white and blue-duty uniform of the Earth Defense Command.
Let's report.
General William Lennox, formerly of the United States Army, straightened to attention. He was younger than Clayton by nearly 20 years, with short brown hair expression that always seemed to be bored and unsurprised.
I've got 2 squadrons of Phantom X-19 scrambling from Autobot City, and ground units mobilizing as well. The X-19 should be there in 10 minutes, if that.
He paused and looked at the hologram.
Although I have no idea if I should give the order to engage once they reach this dome. I don't know if Celestia here would swim away like flies.
He looked to the end of the table, focusing on Clayton.
And I won't risk those under my command like that, Mr. President.
Clayton returned his gaze.
I wouldn't ask you unless there was no other choice.
He looked to the hologram.
Right now, there is. Keep an airtight perimeter around it, Will. I want to see what this Celestia does next. But make sure they keep on their toes.
Lanks nodded. Thank you, sir. Hollingsworth pointed at the map of Kentucky as it floated next to the dome.
Alright, now for the $64 question. I think we can all see where the dome's epicenter is.
Lance spoke up. Last report I was given, Michael and Michelle Richards were to teleport to Autobot City. Fly Sparkle and her fellow Elements of Harmony are there too. Danielle Richards was still across the Rainbow Bridge in Equestria. I've sent teams to get Molly and Danielle Williams. As for Megan herself, he hesitated. According to this report, she was magically transformed to an Alicorn, or at least something resembling an Alicorn. Teleported her family there. He rubbed his forehead, sinking his head slightly as everyone turned to him. Hey, that's what Perceptor said, and I trust him. Most of the time. Albert's eyes shifted. Transform? Went to the ceiling, glasses sliding back. That would be difficult at best. He looked at Lennox. And Perceptor said she was the one teleporting? He suddenly straightened. I mean, sir, Lennox held up a hand.
Well, it's all right, Preston.
And yes, that's what she said. He took a step forward. Why? Albert swallowed again as all eyes turned on him. Well, teleporting is a learned ability among unicorns at least. Although off the top of my head, I don't know about alicorns. I assume he had to be taught it. Also, such a transformation would require incredibly strong magic. Most transformations are temporary and reflect upon a special talent. Clayton tapped his fingers on the table.
Too many questions, not enough answers.
He stood up. Anyone else sitting around rising alongside him.
Right now, the priority is getting all civilians evacuated and resettled. The second priority is condoning off that area.
He looked at Hollingsworth, then Lennox.
Tim, Will, coordinate your two groups to perform perimeter around that dome. I want a ring of beryllium steel around it, gentlemen. Am I understood?
After acknowledgments, he looked at Albert.
Albert, you'll be by my side for a while. I want as a detailed report as possible on that dome, its effects, and the Celestia, and I want it in 12 hours. We've got to know if this is really her.
He clicked at a hologram in the miniature Alicorn.
Although I bet the contents of my display case that this isn't her.
You know, I still do love it in a crossover featuring multiple dimensions and multiple versions where people aren't being stupid! Albert's head bobbed up and down. I won't let you down, sir. He turned, but stopped. Am I dismissed? Clayton now smiled.
Yeah, you're dismissed.
He closed his eyes for a second.
Alright. Is there anything else I'm missing off the top of my head?
Hollingsworth spoke up.
We need to call an emergency session of Congress to inform the Security Council of what's going on. I suggest calling Premier Bradkoff back up and informing him of the situation. If he hasn't already heard about it.
I also opened up a real-time subspace communication channel to Iacon. Like said, I think we'll be needing help on this one. Clayton nodded.
Good ideas, both of you.
He looked to Lennox.
Also, get me the Elements of Harmony to the Oval Office as soon as possible. I think we need to have a talk with Miss Sparkle and the others.
He looked around. Dismissed! And with that, he turned and walked off, bodyguards forming up around him as he left. An aide, tapping an earpiece, suddenly spoke up. Mr. President, there's a newsman broadcasting from near the dome. Clayton then swung around. Well, put it on. The aide nodded, pressed a button on the monitors, hanging from the ceiling, and began scrolling through the channel sector. The image changed from a list of programs to a scratchy side of the dome. With a news sticker crawling across the bomb, a female voice came over. Not sure how the dome was formed. These emergency crews have evacuated most of the civilians from the area, and we have reports of Army and EDC units moving in from Fort Campbell, Fort Knox, and Autobot City, and... There was a pause. Camera zoomed in on the Alicorn, the apex of the dome. Pat? Marcia? Are you getting this? She's speaking! Celestia's voice boomed out, even over the television speakers. It was loud and commanding. I wish to speak with the head of your planet for negotiations. I guarantee safe passes as long as I am not attacked. I repeat, I wish to speak to the head of your planet. I will not speak with anyone else. Clayton crossed his arms over his chest.
Put it on.
He let out a sigh.
Phil,
he said, addressing the aide.
Make sure Twilight and her friends are given every courtesy when they arrive, and apologize on my behalf for not being there.
Hollingsworth's eyes swaying.
Clayton, you're not seriously thinking of going there, are you?
He stepped around his chair, walking up to the president.
No way in hell you can trust her.
Glenn spoke up. I'm in an agreement here, Mr. President. You can trust her about as far as you can throw her. Clayton shook his head.
Sorry, but you heard what she said. The only way for me to get answers is to go there and speak with her.
He leaned into his old friend.
I don't like it any more than you do, but it might be our one chance to get the answers we need.
Hollingsworth let out a sigh and rubbed the bridge of his nose.
Just be careful, Mr. President. This stinks worse than anything.
The president nodded.
I can smell it from here, too.
He reached his arm out and shook hands with Hollingsworth.
See you later, Tim.
And with that, he turned and left, the Secret Service agents forming around him. Hollingsworth stared after his friend, hands still extended into his fists.
If there is a next time.
And let's hear it for the Joes, ladies and gentlemen! Woo! Chapter 6. 6 planes and 1 dragon sat on a table in the middle of Preceptor's lab. Mike and Michelle had been taken to the VIP quarters to eat and rest. Holographic images of the barrier and the white-coated alicorn floated before them. Rainbow Dash finally spoke. Twilight, what in the bucking hay are we looking at? Twilight Sparkle glanced to her right at the Pegasus, noticing she was sitting on her haunches instead of floating in the sky. She looked back at the hologram, focusing on a series of graphs just to the right of the image. It's some sort of barrier, Dash. Extremely destructive, too. Her eyes narrowed. The amount of thematic currency put out is immense. Elzak stood up, right over to the right of the hologram, and looked up at the scrolling numbers. Celestial Sykes. I'll get like heads or tails ablaze. So the Twilight Sparkle. Where is this? Hilcorin's eyes focused on a small map. She looked to her left to Perceptor, standing there but remaining silent. Perceptor, is this hologram contained in magnetic fields for touch sensitivity? And his nod and her horn lit up. So the map expanded. Latitudinal and longitudinal coordinates appeared over an image of Kentucky. Twilight Sparkle's expression changed from intense to a mixture of worry and sorrow. Oh no. Heard no. Not there. Anywhere but there. Elzak glanced at her friend. Twilight, I'm not the smartest pony. Well, that's where Megan and Mike's house was, I'm guessing. Farsight's entire body heaved. She bit her lip as tears flowed to her eyes. This is awful, she cried out, and turned to all her friends. Why is he doing this? Princess Celestia would never do something so awful. Her head dropped down. Eyes her son. I'm sorry. Rainbow Dash of Rarity sided up to her friend. The former draped a ring over Fluttershy, still seeking Withers and back. Shh. Hey, it's all right, she said, squeezing lightly. Rarity wrapped a foreleg around Fluttershy's neck. Indeed, darling. This has proven to be a most traumatic experience for us all. There's no shame in crying a bit. She wiped her own eyes. I must admit a certain moistness to my own eyes. I hope it doesn't ruin my mascara. She swallowed as Applejack turned and glared at her. A joke, a joke. Twilight Sparkle rubbed her chin. Megan told us that this isn't Celestia Fluttershy. It's some other version of her. She shook her head. Although how the hay she became like this is... I have no fucking clue. We're talking massive personality drift here. Pinkie Pie spoke up. Her hair, while not fully straight, had lost some of its poofiness. Her cut was also a bit duller than usual. I know I'm normally not one to point stuff out like this, but this stone thingy is over where Megan and Mike's house was. She let her voice trail off to let the implications set in. Rainbow Dash sucked in her breath. She jumped in the air and flew up to the hologram, kicking at the air. Oh my gosh! She blurted out. She looked down at Twilight Sparkle. Twilight! Where's the Rainbow Bridge? The Pegasus landed. She placed her hose on Twilight's shoulders and began to shake him. Twilight, we're stuck on Earth! Twilight Sparkle's head went back and forth. Her horn glows with force from her shoulders. She dropped back to her haunches. Is it Dash? Her eyes blinked rapidly, finally regaining a bit of focus. She looked over various numbers, easily tapping the hologram to bring up even more numbers. She finally looked up the Perceptor, teeth grinding together in frustration. How can I cut through the thematic radiation to get proper sensor readings? I'm getting massive feedback through along a lot of channels here. She stopped a hoof of frustration built. Perceptor slowly shook his head. I'm afraid at current levels, the information we're obtaining about the interior is as optimal as possible. The interference seems to be deliberate, not necessarily occurring, Otherwise, there would be vastly more information at disposal. Spike spoke up, catching everyone's attention. Hey, wait a second, he said, waiting for everyone to turn to him before continuing. Isn't there some sort of tying thing going on between here and Equestria? There's no bridge? He scratched his forehead, ruffling Spike out slightly. Toy Sparkle's eyes became the appropriate size of saucers. Oh, fucking horse apples! She slammed a huff against her forehead. Rainbow Dazz's ears twitched. Wait, time's going faster there and the Rainbow Bridge goes completely right? Toy Sparkle's frantic nod. Her eyes dilated and wings flared. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh! She took to the air. All our family! Applejack reared up on her hind legs. Teeth clamped down Rainbow Dazz's tail as she tugged, bringing the panicky Pegasus to the plasteel table below. As he spat out the multicolored teals, stomped on the table. Alright, now just wait one cockpit minute, she roared, catching everyone's attention. Now I know things don't look too good, but no sense of panicking and running all half-cocked. We lose our heads, we'll be no good to no pony. Got that? Their nods. She turned away for a moment, looked at the table. Just gotta put it in the back of our minds, is all. Rainbow Dash patted Applejack on her shoulder. Hey, what you just said. You gotta be strong now. She spun around. Okay, so now what do we do? She reared back on her hind legs and punched the air with her front hooves. I say we go right over to this so-called Celestia and show her what the elements of harmony can do when our friends get messed with. Fluttershy dropped down and covered her head with her wings. Oh no, she squeaked out. Rarity rolled her eyes. Please, darling. I'm very certain we'd be swatted away like footballs. She muzzled to her neck. Besides, it's not like we have the elements to combat this cheap knockoff. Toy Sparkle let out a gasp. That's it! She trotted over to Rarity and is still hunkered down Fluttershy. Rarity, you're a genius! She said, wrapping her forelegs around Rarity's neck in a hug. Rarity blinked. I am? Yeah, I suppose I am a dot, she said, grinning. She looked at Twilight. Although, pray tell, just what am I a genius at, precisely? What future methods, of course? Twilight Sparkle let go and turned a high up to look at Rainbow Dash's Spike. We're going to create a new Rainbow Bridge and go get the elements. Spike blinked a few times. He exchanged a glance with Rainbow Dash for a similar expression of confusion. Wait, Twilight. He held his arms up in the hand and palms out. We're not even fully aware of what happened over the Everfree that day. We might end up burnt up or kicked into another dimension. Or worse! Twilight Sparkle's head switched back and forth. It's not just us who've been infected, Spike. There's over 1,000 ponies on Earth besides us. She waved to the humans in the barrier with a foreleg and grunted. We have to open up a new path to Equestria as soon as possible. She wanted to Spike and lay down, nuzzling him slightly. Please. The baby dragon let out a sigh. Okay, but you owe me a sack of emeralds when we get home. He scratched his head at the side of his head. Hey, wait a second. Note to Perceptor. Are there any hot air balloons kicking around Albot City? Perceptor saw to against Sensor's flash. I'm sorry, what did you say? He said, scratching his head. Twilight Sparkle let out a groan and rolled her eyes to the ceiling. Perceptor, please, focus. We're trying to recreate this here. So we need a balloon for Spike and I to float in, and Rainbow Dash to hit with a sonic rainbow. She turned back to the hologram. Her horn glowed and lights of text filling up the sidebars. Ugh! Find no balloons! Got anti-gravity this and that, but no hot air balloons? A few bits of arrangement went out of place. He spoke up. Twilight, my dear. Perhaps you should focus less on getting this precisely like it was that day. I seriously doubt that the hot air balloon was really necessary to the creation of the Rainbow Bridge. I'm not even sure Spike is essential. Dragon. You consider his safety after all. Spike's cheeks turned sparkle cleared her throat. Getting everyone's attention once more. Barry, we have to make sure the contestants are as close as possible to the original incident. So that means a hot air balloon. How was that guy hurt? Don't let Molly of Dragon Hands be shooting fire at you while you're hovering close to a forest. Just a slight pause before Twilight's head dropped. Okay, maybe I don't have to go that far. Applejack nodded. Good to have you. She rubbed her chin. Say, I recall there being a heap of humans and ponies around studying Rainbow Bridge. She looked at Perceptor. Like info in that fancy computer of yours? Reddy spoke up. Actually, think about it. Will we need permission before we try ripping a hole in space? I don't think Rainbow Dash can simply start zipping around and creating sonic air booms all on Autobot City's airspace. She looked at the Perceptor, tried to get to the table and batted her eyes at him. My dear Perceptor, would you be so cold to talk guitars and expect the best for us to engage to recreate rainbow bridge? Perceptor chuckled slightly.
My dear Bertie, there's no need for flattery on your account.
He turned to face one of the various computer consoles lining his laboratory. He stepped to the side of his head. Optic sensors changed from blue to green, and twin beams shot from them. He hit a light-sensitive sensor embedded right below the screen. Computer, he intoned, voice going utterly monotone. Transfer files into folders labeled interdimensional displacement and sonic telephone to central table and holographic projector. The holographic image inside the dome and Alicorn on top had disappeared, only to be replaced by two holograms. First was the equestrian side of the Rainbow Bridge, a simple hole in the sky right above the edge of Everfree Forest. The other was the Rainbow Bridge on Earth, with a hole in solid rainbow trailing down to the backyard of Megan's and Mike's houses. Schematics and numbers scrolled down around all of them. Twilight Sparkle's eyes widened, her mouth dropped almost to the table itself. She reached up with a huff. This is like her Perceptor. A prospector's enemy emissions? She reached up with a huff, tensely poking the magnetic field surrounding the hologram. A horrid glow in windows began opening up. A time sounded. Perceptor's head turned. The door opened and a cargo truck rolled in, with one of the four benches running, the length of a bed. An EDC soldier was in the driver's seat, with Marie Hernandez sitting beside him. She opened her door and leaned out. Twilight Sparkle! Twilight Sparkle tried over to the edge of the table. Horrid glows, he disappeared, reappearing on one of the benches, behind Marie. She looked up to her friend. Commander Hernandez? Marie turned around to face her, clicking her legs out, paying out the door. Twilight, the President of the United States has requested you go to Washington, D.C., she said, making quote marks with her fingers at the word requested. Twilight Sparkle let out a sigh. And by requested, you mean ordered, right? A sigh escaped the EDC officer. Not about the city itself is on high alert, and a state of national emergency has been declared. She looked to Perceptor. Sideswipe is organizing a task force to head north to Kentucky, and Jazz wants you in Command Central ASAP. She tapped her temple. You might want to turn your antenna comm a bit more often. Static erupted from Perceptor's vocalizer, causing everyone in the room to wince slightly. My apologies, Commander Hernandez. It must have slipped my central processor. Pinkie Pie blinked rapidly. She looked at Perceptor. But you got a computer for your brain. How does that work? She tilted her head to the side, continuing around for a bit. I mean, can you just... Alexander hugged to the Pink Pony's mouth. Now, not now, just not now. She removed a hoof and tried to the edge of the table. Trot, she said. You might want to tell her about your plan. Rubedass spread her wings and hopped up to float down to the floor below. She most of the Twilight Sparkle on her right wing. Twilight and I have a plan to bust through to Equestria. After we do that, then we can go to Washington. Marie's eyes widened. She looked up to a rapidly blushing Twilight Sparkle. I'm sorry, what? She asked, straightening back up. Twilight's ears folded down. She cleared her throat. With the Rainbow Bridge either blocked or outright destroyed, we're trapped here on Earth, along with a lot of other citizens of Equestria. It's imperative that contact is reestablished as soon as possible. Not only for us, but for humanity as well. Twilight looked away, she continued. This other Celestia, or whatever the hey she is already hard to make it in ways I could barely understand. She looked up and locked eyes with Marine, and I could feel the real Princess Celestia can help, not only with Megan, but stopping this other Alicorn. Rainbow Dash nodded. That's telling it, she said, grinning. Twilight Sparkle glanced at her friend. But that's not all of it to tell, Dash. She turned and motioned to the table on holograms. There's a lot of information you and I have to go over. Some of the information there I'm not too sure of. She waved off to Rainbow Dash, even as the Pegasus wings unfurled and her mouth open. I'm serious here. I do not want to rip to some hole into yet another Equestria. We need to get it right this time. She stopped the hoof on the floor for emphasis, once slightly for the impact. Verity trotted over to the table's edge, leaning down. Twilight's right, she said. One must pay attention to the details of such a monumental undertaking. Ribbondesk let out a groan and rolled her eyes. Oh, all right, she growled, frowning. Verity smiled, but her expression changed to one of fright as she caught eye on one of the distance from the table to the floor. Twilight, could you be a dear teleport us down to the floor? She asked, batting her eyelashes. Rolled her eyes. Herd sight, really. We can't just rely on Twilight or Trixie to teleport us from here to there. She's going right before her legs side to side. Flying Sparkle chuckled slightly. It's no problem, Applejack. A horn glowed brightly in the tip flash. Applejack, Rarity, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, and Spike disappeared from the table, only to reappear in front of the uniformed Pegasus. See? No problem at all. Rarity cleared her throat, getting everyone's attention. No, it is nothing else. We've got to get you to hang a nine. She motioned her pencils and shrugged. We have all your personal belongings rolling up for you already, so no need to go to your rooms or anything. Applejack, Twilight Sparkle, Pinkie Pie, Rarity, Spike all climbed to the bed while Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash leapt into the air, flanking along Sarah. Professor walked up to the group and knelt down. Wait, he said, holding out his right hand and extending his finger. The tip opened up and a comparatively tiny claw emerged, clutching a small tablet in his printers. I have downloaded all the relevant data tracks to this. Twilight Sparkle smiled up at her friend. The tablet glowed and floated over to her. Thanks, Preceptor. Her expressed hard. Rainbow Dash and I will be sure to put this to good use.